Also, June 15th, Chris, man, I didn't want to give this event any promotion. PBC at it again. Those thieves. This is pay per view, right? This pay per
Yeah.
view. Tank Davis against Frank Martin. Let me just tell you right now, knockout for Tank Davis. David Benavidez also on that card against Alexander Gvozdyk. Let me tell you this, knockout for Benavidez. You don't even have to watch it. We're gonna come back next week and say exactly this. We can summarize that event in 2 sentences, right? But Chris, are you excited for this? Are you gonna watch? Are you gonna pay?
Uh, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be at the Matias, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have more action in that fight. But I was thinking of streaming it on my phone while I'm watching the other fight. But at the same time, I feel like they haven't done enough promotion to get me excited. I think Tank didn't even show up, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, this one just shows me that that Ryan Garcia really did carry his his promotions with Tank Davis and with Devin Haney, because there hasn't been too much excitement. And we know that Tank is a good fighter. We know Frank Martin's a respectable fighter. Not up there in the name echelon, but man, there's been almost no promotion, nothing to get people excited outside of Tank's name. And again, like I said, Tank is not the most exciting, talker. So yeah, not super excited. I'm sure the production value will be a lot better, but man, they disappointed me in the promotion side.
Yeah, Tank Davis, who hasn't fought in over a year. Obviously, his last fight, that stoppage against Ryan Garcia. Before that, he fought Hector Luis Garcia. He fought Rolando Romero. He fought Isaac Cruz, Mario Barrios, Leo Santa Cruz. Your boy, Yuriorkis Gamboa in 2019. And then a bunch of no names before that. Um, Pedraza on there. That's probably his best win, honestly, Pedraza. What was that? A super feather 130. Um, but yeah, not a lot on that resume for Tank. Doing it again.
Ryan,
What was that?
no credit for the win over Ryan.
Yeah, that's a second best win, I would say. Um, but obviously, with a lot of people consider that with an asterisk next to it, right, with all the clauses and all that. But and then Ryan quitting. But yeah, I mean, I'm not excited about this. Let's see how Frank Martin is coming into this fight. 18-0, 12 KOs, 29 years old. I think they're the same age. Um, he's from Detroit, Michigan, repping in Indianapolis. Um, Before that, he fought Artem Hartuyanyan. I know I killed that. Michel Rivera, Jackson Martinez. Probably his best win. Romero Duno. Uh, some other names I can't pronounce. Not much either by Frank Martin. His last fight was in, get that out of here, 2023, about a year ago. About a year ago. He's fighting. He fought a few times in 2023, 2 times in 2021. So 29 years old, 18-0. I'm not giving him much of a chance. Like I said, I think he gets stopped against Tank Davis, but we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, again, both these guys, like you said, you in the late 20s, both around the same age. Tank obviously a bigger name than Frank Martin, but both really taking that Mayweather blueprint. And even though it's safe for their careers in a sense, for them to protect that um, the fan just can't give them the respect, at this stage in their careers. So again, at least try to entertain us for this fight, but they failed to. So yeah, not too excited. Again, respect to these two guys; they're great fighters. But on the promotion aspect, on the what have you done throughout your careers aspect, yeah, nah. Rather be a Matias fight.
Yeah. So, are you excited at all for Benavides versus Vostik, which is supposed to be the co-headliner? I don't know how these guys get away with fighting opponents like this. Tank Davis fighting Frank Martin and Benavides fighting Vostik, who, I mean, Vostik hasn't been relevant in what, 5 years, Chris? That
Yeah.
loss to Arthur Beterbiev came in 2019. That was a big unification bout.
Hmm.
Gvozdyk in his prime in 2019. 5 years later, now fighting David Benavidez, being sacrificed, I would say, the sacrificial lamb. Um, we were there during his comeback in 2023, Chris. Josué Obando. I mean, he fought a guy who was overweight. Look, he weighed in at 191 pounds. It was a tiny show. It wasn't even LA, Chris. It was Pomona. It was Pomona. So,
Yeah.
I mean, not sure why Gvozdyk came back to boxing. I'm sure he could have been fighting in Europe and fighting in bigger cards. And I know he was on one of the Canelo undercards, but not sure this makes sense. What is he now? 38 years old? Let me see.
Late 30s.
37. 37 years old. There
Yeah.
you see it. Yeah, not sure what he's trying to get out of this, but let me tell you this: he's getting stopped and possibly retired. I think it's going to be sad to see. Gvozdyk in his prime, a very good boxer, probably number one, number two, 175 until he fought Beterbiev. Obviously, Beterbiev stopped him in dramatic fashion. So yeah, not sure what Gvozdyk is trying to accomplish here. This fight is supposed to be out 175, I believe. Look, he weighed in at 185 in his comeback, 174, 174. So,
Yeah.
yeah, not sure what the whole point of this is, but obviously it's on the PBC side. It's to make Benavidez look good, and yeah, like I said, not sure how guys get away with taking fights like these.
Yeah, on a competitive level, not excited, to the point where like you don't know who's gonna win. I think it's clear most people expect Benavidez to win. Having said that, I can't hold this too much against Benavidez. In my opinion, it's not his fault that Gvozdyk, took time off and decided to come back, and he doesn't look as crisp as he once was. So on that stance, like that's not Benavidez's fault, but yeah,
Chris, it's
I'm
his
excited.
fault. It's his fault. He signed the fight. Like, don't excuse him. There's so many guys he could have fought. It's his fault.
To me, yeah, to me, I'm excited to see Benavidez just come and do his thing. I think a lot of people are either you hate Benavidez or you like him. I am a fan of Benavidez. I think he just needs to beat the guy in front of him, and of course he's gonna still try to, get that Canelo fight down the road. But he's got to make a statement. And again, you know, Gvozdyk, even though he's not, what he once was, I think he will pose problems for Benavidez early on. I think he comes from a class of, the boxing school, the Ukrainian style. He will pose problems, but just the way Benavidez, started breaking down a Caleb Plant, I think that's what we're gonna see. So, will Gvozdyk be competitive? I think he will be early on, but I just think Benavidez is too fast, and in his prime. And again, Gvozdyk just not the same fighter, but you cannot put that on Benavidez, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. To me, you're 27 years old. You shouldn't be fighting a guy who's 37. Like, you're supposed to be in your prime. You just came off your two best wins. Demetrius Andrade, who's a terrible boxer, but he had somewhat of a name. Caleb Plant, who gained some of a name after losing to Canelo. And look, before that, David Lemieux, another retired guy, Tyrone Davis, Ronald Ellis, Alexis Angulo, guys who we knew he was going to beat. So, um, yeah, this is just another one of those fights. I'm disappointed. Um, and for that reason, I'm out. I'm not watching this. I'm not paying for this. I'm not supporting it. I gave it
Yeah.
5 minutes of my time already, and that's all I got.
My final question, Gio: if he doesn't beat him in how many rounds? What is considered, you know, just unacceptable in your opinion?
I would say 3-4. I would say
Three,
three
four.
four. You're fighting a guy who's basically retired. It shouldn't take you too long.
Okay, I agree. If he doesn't finish him in 6 rounds or under, then yeah, that would be disappointing in my opinion. Even though again, I do give Vos the credit for the foundation and the solid boxing that he has, but I feel like that Beterbiev fight took so much out of him that it sent him to retirement. Of course, he's trying to climb back up the ranks, but yeah, again, it's just like you said, in his late 30s, going through a fight the way he went with Beterbiev, he's just not the same fighter.